He protects a powerful oil magnate's daughter, but as danger lurks, he finds himself torn between duty and a love that could change everything. The sun glared off the sleek black car as it rolled into the estate. Inside, Gabriel leaned back, dressed in a sharp suit. He looked calm, but his eyes scanned the area like a hawk. This job was different. Protecting her was his only focus. Across the vast lawn, a woman stood by the pool. Her name was Mia. She wore a red dress that hugged her curves just right. She seemed out of place, like a rose in a field of thorns. Her defiance was clear as she flipped her long hair over her shoulder. She caught a glimpse of Gabriel, and her eyes narrowed. "You're the bodyguard?" she called out, arms crossed. He kept his voice low, careful with each word. "Say it straight," he said. "No games." A small silence cut the tension. "Just for today," he replied, stepping out of the car. The wind tugged at his jacket. "Stay close to the house. We have a party tonight." She answered fast, then fell quiet. "I'm not afraid," she replied. "Not tonight." He chose the next words with care. Mia rolled her eyes. "I can take care of myself. I'm not some damsel in distress." She walked back to the pool, her heels clicking on the tile. Gabriel followed, his instincts screaming. The party would draw attention. The oil magnate's enemies were always lurking. He moved first, not giving anyone time to think. He checked the room and kept his back to the wall. She shook her head and took a step closer. "Look, this isn't just about you," he said, frustration creeping into his voice. "There are people who want to hurt you." He took a step closer, lowering his tone. "Just do what I say." She stood her ground, eyes steady. She watched his hands, not his smile. They held eye contact, neither blinked. Mia paused, studying him. "And what if I don't?" Her challenge hung in the air. "What happens then?" Gabriel felt a flicker of something unexpected. "Then I'll do whatever it takes to keep you safe, even if you don't want it." She didn't reply, but the spark between them was undeniable. He could see it in her eyes. This night was going to change everything. The next hit was closer than they knew. The party was in full swing. Music pulsed through the air. Guests mingled, laughter mingling with clinking glasses. Gabriel kept a close watch from the shadows. He noticed Mia talking to a group of people, her smile bright but calculated. He could sense trouble brewing. "Stay near me," he said, stepping into her line of sight. She rolled her eyes again. "I'm fine, Gabriel." She sipped her drink, her confidence radiating. He stepped closer, frustration bubbling. "Fine? You call this fine?" He pointed to a man across the room, who watched her too intently. "He's not here for the party." Mia followed his gaze and frowned. "You're always so dramatic," she shot back, though her tone was less sure. Gabriel could see the tension knot in her shoulders. Then someone bumped into Mia, spilling her drink. "Oops, sorry," the man said, laughter spilling from his lips. Gabriel tightened his grip on the table. Mia laughed it off, but looked uneasy. She sidestepped to grab a napkin. Gabriel moved in quickly. "I told you to stay close. Did you hear me?" "Relax," she said, her eyes narrowing. "It's just a drink." But he could see fear flicker in her gaze. "What's it going to take for you to listen?" he asked, lowering his voice. Just then, a loud crash echoed from the hallway. The laughter stopped. All heads turned. "Stay here," he ordered, but she stepped forward, defiant. "I want to know what that was." Gabriel cursed under his breath. "Mia, come on." He grabbed her hand, pulling her back. She resisted, but finally relented, her heart racing. He scanned the room, every instinct on high alert. "If we're going to do this, we do it my way." She stared at him, the wall between them cracking. "What is this? Some sort of bet?" she asked, breathless. "You think I'm a prize?" He caught her gaze, a challenge sparking between them. "It's not like that," he said, his voice steady. "But I'm bound to keep you safe. That's my job." The stakes hung between them now. She felt it too. "Fine," she said, a hint of warmth in her voice. "But if I'm going to be safe, you need to keep up." Gabriel smirked, the tension shifting. "Deal." But then, a low voice broke through the crowd. pulling their attention back. "Mia!" The atmosphere shifted again. The night was far from over, and danger lurked just beyond the door. But this was only the start. Gabriel and Mia stood frozen as the voice called out. It was deep and familiar. "Mia!" She turned, her expression a mix of surprise and anger. Gabriel felt the tension shift. He stepped forward, protective. "Stay behind me. I can handle this," Mia snapped, breaking free from his grip. She marched toward the voice, her back straight. "What do you want?" The man stepped into view. He wore a smug grin. Gabriel recognized him, a rival from the oil business. Not good. He kept his voice low, careful with each word. "Say it straight," he said. "No games." A small silence cut the tension. "Mia, baby," he said, leaning in too close. Gabriel's muscles tensed. "I miss you. We had something special." Mia's jaw tightened. "We had nothing. You don't get to show up now." Gabriel positioned himself between them, glaring. "Back off." She answered fast, then fell quiet. "I'm not afraid," she replied. "Not tonight." He chose the next words with care. The man laughed, dismissive. "You're really going to let this guy tell you what to do?" Mia's eyes flashed. "I'm not some prize to be won." Gabriel met her gaze, frustration bubbling. "You don't get it. This guy is trouble." Bitty, he moved first, not giving anyone time to think. He checked the room and kept his back to the wall. She shook her head and took a step closer. "Stop trying to control me," she shot back, her voice sharp. "I can take care of myself, remember?" Gabriel shook his head. "This isn't about control. It's about keeping you safe." The man's smirk faded, realizing they were a united front. She stood her ground, eyes steady. She watched his hands, not his smile. They held eye contact. Neither blinked. Mia crossed her arms, defiant. "What's it going to take for you to trust me?" He took a step closer, lowering his voice. "You need to listen. I won't let anything happen to you." She bit her lip, fighting back a smile. "Then let me face this. Together." Gabriel opened his mouth to argue, but hesitated. The air crackled with tension. Could he risk letting her take the lead? Mia stood tall, facing the rival. Gabriel felt the heat from her determination. "You think you can just show up and act like everything's fine?" she challenged. The man shrugged, still smug. "I can do whatever I want. You're not with him, are you?" Gabriel stepped closer, ready to intervene. "You're crossing a line," he warned. "Stay away from her." The man scoffed, rolling his eyes. "And what are you going to do about it? Play bodyguard all night?" He kept his voice low, careful with each word. "Say it straight," he said. "No games." A small silence cut the tension. "Maybe I will," Gabriel shot back. He could feel Mia's eyes on him, searching for reassurance. "You're not even a blip on her radar." The man sneered, looking between them. "You think you know her? She's trapped in a gilded cage and you're just the keeper." She answered fast, then fell quiet. "I'm not afraid," she replied. "Not tonight." He chose the next words with care. Mia took a breath, gathering her strength. "I'm not trapped," she said firmly. "And you don't get to come in here and mess with my life." Gabriel admired her spirit. "You need to set boundaries," he said, his voice low. "If he doesn't respect them, we walk away." He moved first, not giving anyone time to think. He checked the room and kept his back to the wall. She shook her head and took a step closer. She nodded slowly, considering his words. "What if he gets aggressive?" she asked, her tone shifting. Gabriel locked eyes with the man. "If that happens, I'll do what I have to do." His heart raced, knowing the truth behind his words. No one touches her. She stood her ground, eyes steady. She watched his hands, not his smile. They held eye contact. Neither blinked. "All right. But if we're doing this, we do it my way," Mia replied, a hint of authority in her voice. "No more pretending I'm helpless. I won't be treated like a prize." Gabriel held her gaze, understanding the risk. "Okay, but there are lines I won't let you cross." The tension hung thick. "If things get messy, we bail. No questions." Just then, the man's grin returned, hiding a threat beneath it. They were far from safe. One move would change everything. Tension filled the air, thick and electric. Mia stood firm, glaring at the rival. Gabriel stepped beside her, ready for anything. "You really think you can come in here and play games?" he said, voice low. The man chuckled, his eyes flicking to Mia. "Oh, I see what you have here." "This is cute," he said, mocking Gabriel's protective stance. Mia took a step forward, chin raised. "This isn't a game," she shot back. "You don't get to call the shots in my life." Gabriel glanced at her, surprised by her boldness. She faced the man head-on. "You're not welcome here. Get lost." The rival's smile faded, replaced by a calculating look. "You think you can just push me away?" "Watch me," she replied, her tone steady. Gabriel felt the pressure shift. He knew they were playing with fire. "Let's go," he started, but Mia shook her head. "No, I won't back down." The rival stepped closer, invading her space. "You're still the same girl I used to know, always fighting." Gabriel stepped in front of her, protective, but Mia pushed him aside. "I can handle this. Just know you've got a new keeper now," the rival taunted. Gabriel tightened his fists, adrenaline surging. "That's enough," he warned. But Mia didn't flinch. "And who's keeping you safe from me?" she challenged, her eyes sparkling with defiance. Gabriel felt the heat between them. This was a dangerous game, and they were both playing. The man laughed, clearly enjoying the tension. "You think you're in control? You're just a pretty face." Mia took a deep breath, holding her ground. "I'm more than that. Don't underestimate me." Gabriel's heart raced. He admired her strength, but he also felt the danger lurking, knowing the stakes were high. "We're done here," he said firmly, stepping closer to her. But Mia wasn't backing down. "No, I want him to see me," she insisted. "This is my life." The rival leaned in, smirking. "What's the plan, Mia? Show off your courage." She met his gaze, a spark of defiance lighting her eyes. "No, I want you to know I'm not afraid of you." Gabriel felt a mix of pride and concern. As the rival stepped back, the tension hung thick. This was only the beginning. Someone was listening in the dark. The gala was packed. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above. The air buzzed with conversations. Mia and Gabriel stood at the edge of the crowd, tension between them. She adjusted her dress, scanning the room. "This isn't just any party," she said, glancing at Gabriel. "I can feel it." Gabriel nodded, his eyes scanning the guests. "Stay close. This isn't the time to wander." Mia rolled her eyes but stayed within arm's reach. A waiter passed by, offering drinks. She took one, and Gabriel frowned. "You don't need that," she smirked. "It helps take the edge off." The auction began, the auctioneer's voice loud and clear. "Next item up for bid, a rare vintage car." Excited murmurs rippled through the crowd. Mia's gaze shifted to the stage, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. "That's beautiful," she whispered. Gabriel remained focused. "Keep your head in the game," he reminded her. Suddenly, the doors swung open. A figure stepped in, drawing curiosity. Murmurs grew loud. "It's him," someone whispered. Gabriel felt the tension spike. "Stay behind me," he urged, but Mia shook her head. "No, I want to see." The crowd parted, revealing a well-known mafia leader. His presence transformed the room. "Welcome, everyone," he boomed, a grin plastered on his face. "Tonight, we play for high stakes." Gabriel's focus sharpened. He felt Mia's breath quicken beside him. "What's he planning?" she asked, eyes wide. Before he could answer, the mafia leader's gaze landed on them. A slow smile grew. "Ah, Mia," he said, tilting his head. "I didn't know you'd be here." Heart racing, Gabriel stepped forward. "Back off," he warned, voice low. The leader chuckled, clearly amused. "Relax, bodyguard. Just a friendly greeting." Mia's eyes flicked to Gabriel, hesitation in them. "I'm fine," she insisted. But then the unexpected happened. The mafia leader extended his hand to Mia. "Care for a dance?" he asked, a playful glint in his eyes. Gabriel's grip tightened. "This isn't a game," he said, his voice steady. The tension hung thick and Mia was caught between them, her choice looming. He thought he was in control. He wasn't. The music thumped in the background, but Gabriel's focus was on Mia. She stood frozen, staring at the mafia leader. "I'm fine," she repeated, but her voice trembled. Gabriel could see the tension in her shoulders. Something was off. "Mia," he said, taking a step closer, "you don't have to dance with him." She hesitated, then looked at him. "It's just a dance, Gabriel." But her eyes betrayed her. Memories flickered across her face. He could feel the weight of whatever she was remembering. "I don't like this," he said, his voice rough with concern. "Can we just get out of here?" Mia took a deep breath, her gaze still fixed on the mafia leader. "I can handle him. You don't need to worry." Gabriel shook his head. "It's not that simple." He felt the anger rising, mixed with fear. "You don't know what he's capable of." She stepped forward, breaking the distance. "What if he's not who I think he is?" She shot back, frustration in her voice. "What if I'm stronger than you think?" Gabriel opened his mouth to respond, but the look in her eyes stopped him. He saw a flicker of pain beneath her defiance. "Did something happen to you?" he asked, his voice softer now. Mia's expression shifted. "It's not that," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's just..." She trailed off, swallowing hard. "When I was younger, there was this party. I thought I was safe." A flash of fear crossed her face. Gabriel leaned in closer. "What happened?" Mia looked away, a tear escaping. "There was a man. He was charming. He danced with me, then he got too close. Things went wrong." She took a shaky breath. "I lost my trust that night. I don't want that to happen again." Gabriel's heart sank. She was fighting more than just this moment. "Mia," he said gently, "you're safe with me. I won't let anything hurt you." But deep down, he wondered if he could keep that promise. As she looked back at him, the resolve in her eyes was mixed with fear. She wasn't just facing the mafia leader, she was battling her past. But this was only the start. Mia took a step toward the mafia leader, her chin raised in defiance. Gabriel's heart raced. "Mia, don't!" he warned, stepping forward. She looked back at him, eyes fierce. "I can handle this, Gabriel. He won't hurt me." The mafia leader smirked, leaning closer. "Strong words, my dear, but are you sure?" Gabriel clenched his fists. "This isn't just a dance," he said, his voice low. The leader chuckled, glancing at Gabriel. "What are you going to do, protect her?" He kept his voice low, careful with each word. "Say it straight," he said. "No games." A small silence cut the tension. "Exactly that," Gabriel shot back, refusing to back down. He stepped between them, blocking Mia's view. "You need to back off." The mafia leader narrowed his eyes. "You think you can intimidate me?" he taunted. Gabriel's gaze was unyielding. "I'm not afraid of you," she answered fast, then fell quiet. "I'm not afraid," she replied. "Not tonight." He chose the next words with care. Mia felt the tension thick in the air. "You're making this worse, Gabriel," she said, frustration creeping into her voice. But deep inside, she appreciated his protective instinct. "I can't let you take control this way." She felt torn. The rivalry between them fueled her determination. He moved first, not giving anyone time to think. He checked the room and kept his back to the wall. She shook her head and took a step closer. Suddenly, the mafia leader laughed, a cruel glint in his eyes. "What will you do if I don't, bodyguard?" Gabriel shifted his stance, ready for anything. "Don't test me," he warned. Just then, the mafia leader reached for Mia's hand, trying to pull her close. "Let's dance," he insisted. She stood her ground, eyes steady. She watched his hands, not his smile. They held eye contact. Neither blinked. In that instant, something snapped inside Gabriel. He stepped forward, grabbing the mafia leader's wrist tightly. "Don't touch her!" he shouted, anger blazing in his eyes. Mia gasped, surprised but willing to stand her ground. "Gabriel, wait!" But he didn't let go. The room fell silent, all eyes on them. The stakes had never been higher, and the challenge was clear, but this was only the start. The gala ended in chaos. Guests whispered and pointed. Gabriel held Mia's wrist firmly, dragging her away from the mafia leader. "We need to get out of here," he said, scanning the room. She looked back, her face still set with determination. I'm fine, Gabriel. You don't need to protect me like this. He led her through the crowd, frustration simmering. You don't understand, he's dangerous. She stopped and faced him, eyes fierce. I know that, but I can handle myself. Gabriel sighed. You shouldn't have to. I'm here for a reason. The heat between them was undeniable. They stood inches apart, the world fading around them. Mia took a deep breath and softened her tone. I appreciate you being here, but I want to fight my battles. Gabriel looked deep into her eyes, catching a glimpse of the pain behind her courage. I get that, but some battles aren't worth the risk. They locked eyes, tension twisting in the air, something genuine blooming between them. Maybe I want to risk it, she shot back, crossing her arms. Gabriel's heart raced. You're too important to me, he admitted, his voice low. He didn't plan to say it, but it slipped out. I know what you're saying, Mia replied, a hint of vulnerability in her voice. But I can't lose myself to fear. He stepped closer, feeling the connection deepen, something they both needed. They found a quieter corner of the gala hall. The night had dimmed, and the music faded into the background. What are you really afraid of? She asked, studying his face. He hesitated. It's not just you, Mia. I can't lose anyone again. Her expression softened, and for a moment, the weight of their pasts hung between them. You won't lose me, she said, her voice steady. Gabriel felt the pull. I want to protect you, he said softly, but I can't stand to be in the way of your strength. He brushed a loose strand of hair behind her ear. Mia's breath hitched and she leaned in slightly. Maybe we can find a way to protect each other, she suggested, her eyes glimmering. The air was charged with possibilities. Gabriel moved closer, their lips almost touching. But then, a loud crash echoed from the main hall, shattering the moment. She was about to cross a line. The loud crash pulled Mia and Gabriel back to reality. The music stopped abruptly. People turned, eyes wide in shock. Gabriel clenched his jaw. Stay close, he ordered, grabbing her arm. We need to see what's going on. They moved through the crowd, tension rising. What happened? Mia asked, scanning the room. I don't know, Gabriel replied, his gaze fixed on the entrance. He could feel the energy shift. Something was off. Suddenly, a commotion erupted. A group of men barged in, their faces stern. They scanned the crowd before locking eyes on the mafia leader. You, one of them shouted. The mafia leader's smile faded. What is this? He demanded, his voice ice cold. Mia and Gabriel exchanged glances. They knew trouble was brewing. Before they could react, the men rushed forward, pulling out documents. We have evidence, the leader of the group said, holding up a thick folder. You're under investigation for illegal activities. The crowd gasped. Mia's heart raced. What does this mean? She whispered. Gabriel frowned, his instincts firing. We need to get out of here, he said urgently, but they were trapped. Just then a woman pushed her way through the crowd, eyes locked on Mia. You! She shouted. You shouldn't be here! Mia's stomach twisted. What do you mean? The woman held up her phone, a message visible on the screen. I saw your name in his contacts. Gabriel stepped in front of Mia, his expression darkening. Back off, he warned, but the woman didn't flinch. This isn't just a party for you, the woman continued, her voice rising. You're part of something bigger. You don't know what you're getting into. Gabriel's heart sank. He felt the walls closing in. Mia, we need to leave, now. Mia's eyes widened, a mix of fear and determination on her face. I need to understand, she insisted. But as the tension crackled in the air, Gabriel knew they had crossed a line. He had to protect her, but this time it was different. Something had changed. One move would change everything. The chaos of the gala faded, but the tension between Mia and Gabriel only grew. They managed to slip away from the crowd, but the moment felt heavy. Mia rubbed her arms, trying to shake off the chill. Gabriel, I can't just run away from this. He shook his head, frustration boiling inside him. You think running away is the answer? You don't know what you're involved in. He turned, glaring at the wall. I can't just stand by and watch you get hurt. He kept his voice low, careful with each word. Say it straight, he said, No games. A small silence cut the tension. Mia stepped closer, her voice firm. I can handle myself. I'm tired of being treated like some fragile thing. Gabriel clenched his fists. This isn't about being fragile. This is about your safety. You don't get it. He couldn't keep the anger out of his voice. She answered fast, then fell quiet. I'm not afraid, she replied. Not tonight. He chose the next words with care. Maybe I don't want to get it, Gabriel, she snapped back. Maybe I want to fight my own battles. The heat between them was suffocating. You think you're protecting me, but you're only pushing me away. He moved first, not giving anyone time to think. He checked the room and kept his back to the wall. She shook her head and took a step closer. I'm not trying to push you away, Gabriel exploded, his voice low but intense. I'm trying to keep you safe, but you want to dive headfirst into danger. What am I supposed to do? He turned away, frustrated. She stood her ground, eyes steady. She watched his hands, not his smile. They held eye contact. Neither blinked. For a moment, silence stretched between them. Mia's eyes softened. I don't want to lose you, but I can't lose myself either. Gabriel felt the air thicken. Then maybe we need some space, he said quietly. The words hung heavy. As he looked at her, he wondered if this was the end of something beautiful. The next hit was closer than they knew. Gabriel's heart raced as he paced around the empty corner of the gala hall. Mia stood nearby, watching him with a mix of concern and frustration. You can't keep doing this, she said, her voice steady. Pushing me away won't help. He turned to her, anger flaring. I'm not pushing you away. I'm trying to protect you. His hands clenched into fists. You don't get it. The mafia leader won't just let this go. She crossed her arms, defiant. And running won't change anything. I have the right to know what's happening. Knowing puts you in danger, Gabriel shot back. They locked eyes, the air thick with tension. Let me help you. He softened his tone. Please, let me work on a plan. Mia took a step closer, her expression softening. Then you need to let me in, Gabriel. We can't fix this alone. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. Okay, but it can't just be about you facing him. I need to take a risk. Mia raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? He hesitated, then spoke fast. I'll confront the mafia leader. I'll make sure he knows you are off limits. Her eyes widened. That's dangerous. Gabriel nodded. I know, but it's the only way to protect you. He straightened, determination filling him. I'll sacrifice my connections, my wealth even. I don't care about power if it means keeping you safe. Mia's heart raced. Are you sure about this? Yes, he said firmly, but I need your support. Whatever happens, we'll face this together. She nodded slowly, the weight of their decisions pressing down on them. Okay, I'm with you, but we can't act rashly. He stepped closer, feeling the warmth of her presence. We'll do this right, I promise. They exchanged determined glances, the tension shifting into something solid. We need to plan, Mia said. No blind moves. Gabriel agreed. I'll gather intel. We'll find a way to turn the tables. As they plotted their next steps, the chaos from earlier faded in the background. But deep down, they both knew the stakes were rising. The countdown to confrontation had begun, but this was only the start. Gabriel paced back and forth, nerves buzzing in the air. Mia watched him, waiting for the next move. What's your plan? She asked, crossing her arms. He paused, looking straight at her. We confront the mafia leader tonight, face to face. Her eyes widened. That's risky. Do you think he'll back down? Gabriel's jaw tightened. I can't let him think he can intimidate us. Not anymore. She stepped closer, concern etched on her face. And what if he doesn't listen? What then? He took a breath, grounding himself. Then we fight. Together. A flicker of fear crossed her expression. I don't want you to get hurt. I'm more worried about you, he replied, his voice steady. You're the one he's after. Mia shook her head, a fire igniting in her eyes. I can handle him. I won't back down. Gabriel felt a rush of admiration. Just promise me you'll stay close. If things get out of hand, we need to stick together. You know I will, Mia said, her voice softening. But I need you to trust me too. We're equals in this. Gabriel hesitated, the weight of her words sinking in. You're right. I've been trying to protect you, but I can't do it alone. She nodded, the tension shifting between them. Love doesn't mean control. It means partnership. Okay, he said, a sense of relief washing over him. We face him as a team, but we need to be smart about this. Mia met his gaze, determination shining through. Let's gather information first. We can outsmart him. Gabriel felt hope bubble inside him. Together, we can create our own fate. As they finalized their plan, the air crackled with energy, charged with possibility. No more secrets, no more hiding, Gabriel stated, feeling a sense of freedom. Mia smiled, her confidence filling the room. Agreed. Now, are you ready for what's coming? Gabriel locked eyes with her, heart racing. Let's do this. The next hit was closer than they knew. Mia stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her dress. The gala was over, but the weight of what had happened still lingered. Gabriel walked in, his expression softer than before. You look amazing, he said, a hint of admiration in his voice. She turned to him, a smile breaking through her nerves. Thanks. Ready for this? He nodded, running a hand through his hair. More than ever, they shared a look, both knowing the fight ahead wouldn't be easy, but they were in it together this time. As they walked out of her apartment, Mia felt a rush of hope. No more hiding, she reminded him. Gabriel opened the door, determination shining in his eyes. Together, we face this. At the meeting place, the tension hung in the air. The mafia leader stood waiting, flanked by his men. Gabriel took a deep breath, stepping forward. We need to talk. The leader raised an eyebrow, surprise flickering across his face. You think you can challenge me? Gabriel's voice was steady. I'm here for Mia. You won't touch her again. Mia stepped beside him. You're outmatched. We know what you've done. The leader's expression hardened. You're playing a dangerous game. Gabriel squared his shoulders. We're not afraid of you. The standoff felt electrifying. Mia's heart raced, but she stood firm. This ends now. We won't back down. After a heated exchange, the mafia leader finally backed off, anger boiling beneath the surface. You won't win forever, he warned, but they both knew they had made their point. As they walked away, Mia couldn't help but smile. We did it, she breathed, relief flooding her voice. Gabriel looked down at her, pride swelling in his chest. We did. Back at her apartment, the atmosphere was lighter. Mia poured 2 glasses of wine, handing one to Gabriel. To new beginnings, she toasted, clinking her glass against his. They settled on the couch, feeling the weight of their fight lift. Mia looked at Gabriel, love and respect shining in her eyes. What's next for us? I don't know, he replied, a smile on his face. But I know we'll figure it out. Together. As they shared a laugh, the noise from the outside world faded away. They were no longer just protecting each other, they were building something new. And as they leaned in for a kiss, that promise lingered in the air. Would they rise stronger, or would old shadows resurface?